thank you so much for joining us. Ludka, now that the H-1B registration is completed, what will really happen next and how do applicants prepare for that?
So H-1B registration actually was extended for a little bit. So it ended on March 20th due to technical glitches. But, lottery is going to happen soon. And by March 31st, we should know who was selected and who wasn't. So I'm sure it's very stressful for all of applicants, and I'm really curious to see how many people applied. Every year it's always more and more. So as I mentioned, by March 31st, we should know. And, just as a reminder, last season we did not have second lottery or third lottery. Historically we did. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, there was a second lottery. But we didn't have it, so we shouldn't plan on it for this year. So let's talk about those that are selected for the lucky ones. So those that are selected, just a reminder, H-1B petition needs to be filed starting on April 1st until June 30th. There are some considerations, however. So for example, if we have F1 student on OPT, and let's say OPT will end, I'm going to make it up, on May 15. It's really important that H-1B petition would be filed prior to expiration of the OPT, because this way this student or this applicant would be able to benefit from continued employment authorization by using CAP-GAP extension. So once the H-1B is filed, it's important for the student to provide receipt notice to the international student officer at the school. So even though I keep saying student because they have student visa, they're not in school. They graduated and working, but they still need to report to international student officer so they can make it happen for them. Because just a reminder, H-1B really starts on October 1st. So even though it's filed and ultimately hopefully approved, it will kick in for those filing change of status on October 1st. And that brings me to another point. For those selected that are not F1 students, it's really important to remember just filing the petition doesn't protect the status, doesn't authorize people to stay in the United States, because again, H-1B starts on October 1st. So let's use example of someone being here on B1 status, for example, or B2. Let's say the status is expiring on June 15th. The H-1B petition is filed, but again, H-1B starts on October 1st. It's really important that that individual will extend the status and continues the non-immigrant visa status until October 1st. So with F1s, it's a little bit different, but all others need to make sure that there is no gap in status if they are in the United States. Another consideration is travel. While the petition is pending, they cannot travel, because if those applicants travel, they will abandon their change of status. It's going to be denied. So that's really important to remember. And, they should be talking to their immigration lawyers about any potential travel. Now, what about those that were not selected? So hopefully they have Plan B, because it's always important to plan, because it's not a great chance to be selected. So I often see students, for students, consider maybe pursuing another degree. So if you graduated from you have a bachelor's degree, just consider master's degree. Now, very limited, doesn't happen too often, but I would like to bring it up because I saw a lot of questions on this. For individual completing bachelor's degree, STEM bachelor's degree, and did not use STEM OPT, then for example, now completed master's degree, and it's a non-STEM degree, they can actually use that STEM OPT and extend their OPT. So that's very important for those that are currently in the first year of OPT, non-STEM, but have previously graduated from STEM program and still have that available, because this would gain them another 2 years. And hopefully they're going to be selected at that point. And here I would like to bring up Day 1 CPT. And just to warn applicants, there's a lot of fraud with all these programs offering Day 1 CPT, which means that these students can work from day one. Just be very careful that, to make sure it's a legitimate universities, because I've seen a lot of issues later on. Once they are selected in the future in H-1B, there could be requests for evidence They could be questioning it. So just be very vigilant and make sure that it's legitimate university. And of course, there are many other options. So it's just important to start planning right away. You know, whether it's an O1 visa, L1, religious R1. So it's important to just start planning and not wait for too long.
If you basically fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? So that's where you have it. And thank you so much, Ludka. That is really great on getting people up and running once they know their situation, whether they've been accepted or not through the